I am alive. It's great to have validation. I'm going to find myself on YouTube. It's a beautiful 75 out. And Sela. One watching. That must be me. Hi, Aunt Bex. Hi, Marguerite from beautiful British Columbia. Hi, Colleen. Welcome, welcome to another Sunday afternoon. Hi, Art Junkie. Good to see you. I was watching Aunt Bex this morning. Always something interesting there to catch up on. You're doing a heck of a job with your whips, that's for sure. I spent the afternoon at Debbie Epps's all-day D-Stash sale, and I was so good. I didn't buy a thing. There were so many neat things that she had, papers, and she retired school teacher, and apparently they had all sorts of workbooks that the kids use throughout the years, and she's just dyed all of the pages in these workbooks, and she has "You Are on the Road." Yes, it was beautiful. I mean, and what she did was she had these beautiful colors that she created, and so she had big packs of. So you weren't really buying the content of the workbook page. It was a workbook page. It may be a math work, whatever. But she had about, I think, 5 different colors. And you would just buy them, whatever. And they were very reasonably priced, as I recall. And I jumped on late, and it went on forever. But I think she really had a very successful D-Stash sale. There was some bargain. She even had a soldering iron with soldering stuff for $2, and a ring light. I mean, odds. I mean, stuff that was way out there from typical regular stuff that you would expect, right? But a ring light and a soldering iron, thingy. So it was pretty cool. But I didn't buy anything. I just sat there and watched and did nothing, which was a good thing because I don't need anybody else's stuff. I got enough of my own. But if I were inclined, I would have been inclined. I haven't been feeling well. I don't know what the hell's going on, but my back is killing me. I haven't had back issues for 50 years. And fortunately, I see my RA doctor on Tuesday. And hopefully, he can at least take some x-rays of my back and see what's going on. And then not only is my back bothering me, but I have a rash only on my legs. Weirdest thing, nowhere else. Well, actually, a little bit on the inside of this arm, but that's not too bad. Not itchy, only on my legs. Yeah. And I've gone on, rashes and stuff, and I can't seem to find anything that kind of really matches this. It's really very, very, very odd. But I'm glad I see the RA doctor, even though he's not one to spend much time with his patients. I'm really in there to get my Probia shot. But I'm going to go, whoa there, doc. Hi, Carol. My brother had 3 different bacteria on his legs. I never even thought of that. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, I can't really stand for more than, maybe 5 minutes before it kicks in. I bought one of those lidocaine over-the-counter patches, and they're great, except that it's really hard to put a patch on one's back, if you get my drift. But I managed to get one on the right side, and that seems to have been helps a little bit. So more information to follow. I'm just a little frustrated. I've just been exhausted. Go to bed early for me, get up, fix breakfast, and then I'm ready to lie down for the rest of the day. So we'll see. Hopefully I can work my way out of this. No, this is the first time I've ever used a patch. And I'm assuming I'm not allergic to the patches because I haven't had any reaction to them. So I don't know. To answer your question, this is the first time I've ever used one. And I haven't had any noticeable, the rash hasn't gotten worse or better. I did buy some Benadryl. Yeah, the rash has been there though. This rash on my legs has been there for almost a week. Hi, Mary Lou. Inflammatory arthritis. Yeah, I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and I don't know whether that's the same thing, just different terminology because of the No, I just put the patch on today for the first time. I've never used one before. So and so we'll see. I'll know more Tuesday afternoon. My appointment's early-ish, like at 5:45. No, not 5:45, 11:45, and I've already registered online. So today I was, lying in bed. I was watching Natasha from Treasure Books, and psoriatic arthritis. Okay, you take injections. Yeah, they had me taking injections of methotrexate in the beginning of my arthritis journey. And then I found out that it was available in tablet form. So now I take it in pill form. I take 7 methotrexate pills on Sunday all at once. But yeah, arthritis. And one of my bridge partners, she is all bent over and bow-legged. Oh, she is going to be in so much pain. I feel so bad for her. But it's miserable. Absolutely miserable. So I was watching Natasha from Treasure Books this morning, and she had an epiphany or an awakening to a new project. Hi, Carol. Hi, Candy. I saw Carol and then saw Candy. Hi, Candy. So she was looking at, let me see if I can remember. She was looking at like a business supply catalog, and there was a picture of a desk, and on the desk was like a notebook, and it was a notebook that had been stitched together, but each of the pages was a different length. Hi, Steph. Saw Steph yesterday at Debbie Epps. That was quite the sale. And so she was looking at it and trying to figure out how they had done that, and she couldn't figure it out. But then she came up with her own idea, and boy, was she excited. I will try to remember to put the link. She didn't even have a name for the project, and she was thinking that, I don't think anybody's ever done this. And if you know that somebody has done this before, don't tell me. I don't want to know today. She was so funny. And my husband got a shot for that one time. It won't go. I've been diagnosed with this arthritis since for 12, 13 years ago. And And then I was diagnosed with, my son is 49, my oldest son. And I was diagnosed when he was 3 months old with degenerative disc disease in my lower back. And I had a whole bunch of exercises that I was supposed to do that I did religiously. Yeah. Psoriatic arthritis. I never knew there were that many different types of arthritis. And so he gave me some exercise to do, and he was supposedly the best orthopedic, blah, 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 in Harrisburg, recommended by the OBGYN who had delivered Dave. And I did them religiously every day. And eventually it went away. Oh, wow. And I haven't really had any back issues. Occasionally there'll be a little bit of a flare up, but nothing as bad as it's been the last couple of days. So we'll see. I didn't play bridge Saturday morning, but that was not because of that. That was because my partner had something else to do. But both of your parents have that. I wonder, is it hereditary? Yeah, it was great. And now it's come back to haunt me. Well, Lily, my cat Lily, has arthritis. And she's on a new diet, not for the arthritis, but her kidneys are failing. I guess she's got renal kidney, that's the beginnings of kidney issues. So she's on a new Hill Science prescription diet. And well, she's 15, almost 15 years old. And I was concerned whether she would like it or not, because, cats can be picky. But she gobbled that up. Man, she loved it. And I was trying to figure out how much to feed her of it. That's like a deep, dark secret. But I finally figured out, according to her weight, they said, oh, yeah, she's a female. I didn't realize that was unusual for females. And so, according to them, the 2.9 ounce can, which is the little can, she should be given 2 of those a day. 2. I went, what? 2. So I thought, well, today I would give her like half in the morning and half later on in the day. So I opened the can, this morning after I'd gotten up, probably around, 10ish, 11ish. And she had some of it and then walked away. So I guess she really wasn't hungry at that point. So I scooped it all back, and I'll give it all to her when I get done streaming. But she gobbled it up. But boy, is it going to be expensive. I'm going to buy, and I found it through Amazon, of course. Amazon had the cheapest price if you subscribed, both for the wet and the dry. And I will buy the dry to have out all the time, like I have with her Iams. It's a kidney. It's their kidney formula for kidney issues. It's Hill Science prescription diet K/D for kidney diet. And the flavor that she loves is the chicken and vegetable stew. And so she scoffing that up without missing a heartbeat. And it sells for $2.69 a can for a little can. But if I get it through Amazon and get the auto delivery, then it goes down to $2.51 or $2.60, something like that. You were an ice skater. Well, that's a lot of wear and tear on your bones, that's for sure. Yeah. Very cool. That is so cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to make this thing that Natasha made. I've watched it numerous times. and I made a somewhat of a prototype that I haven't really put together. So I want to start, and I'll show you what the prototype is, and then I'll make one. This is my Joe Fee journal that I made a while ago, and I've been working on gradually filling it up. There was actually a couple of things I wanted. There was actually 2 Joe Fee and a treasure book I was going to do today, but I think I'm just going to do the one and then call it quits to see how long that takes. Come on. Trying to get my camera. No, I don't want that. All right, it won't zoom out, so I'll do a manual zoom. How's that? No, I don't want you to see. You don't have to see me. No, well, that's as best I can. Hi, Barbara. Anyway, so here it is. Oh, little quails. Yeah, we had quails on the farm in Pennsylvania. I haven't seen that. Where I am in Florida, there's no quails. Hi, Adria. Yeah, thumbs up would be great. Thumbs up, and YouTube likes that. But there's a lot of stuff in here, and I'm just going to gradually start, adding stuff to it, make stuff. I made this tag a while ago to go in here. Just start gluing stuff down. You know what it's like. Just glue stuff down. I made a whole bunch of tags. And so this is it. This is in the raw stage. And it's when I talk about a flippy floppy, it just unfolds and unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. And then she decorates it. So I'm going to make a new one of these. And then, of course, you can get real fancy and start stitching it. And then I have some goodies. I think I'll probably be able to stick on those. Anyway, I've just started sticking stuff in here. And I use the Traveler Journeys type of binding, and I have, so I can take the pages out if I want to work on them. So this type of journal is really fun because you can just add to it and have some fun. I've got all these neat tags that this is a half a thing I did, a half a page I did over, and then I guess it was last week that I was doing the die cut with the aluminum. So here's the little die cut, bicycle out of aluminum, out of an aluminum can. And that's a picture of my grandparents. So I did that. And here's another big tag. This is a really heavy duty tag that I finished. And that goes here. Oopsies. Let's see anything else. So this is just filled with all sorts of stuff. Well, this is a butterfly this was on an alumni publication from St. Bonaventure. And it was just a half a butterfly. I know, I like that. I like the pineapple page too. And it was on the cover of the publication from St. Bonaventure. And I filled it in with a little black gesso and such. And then I gessoed the back, so I can collage something on the back of this or line paper to make a journaling spot, but I just couldn't throw that out. It's just such a cool thing, and it kind of just fits there like that. Anyway, I think that's all I have to show in here. And then here's, the signature. Oh, and then I made a folder out of envelopes that I attached to the back page of this journal. And this is a flippy floppy. Let's see, flippy. So it just, this is a great way to use up all those pieces of ephemera that you have laying around. So this flips this way. And then here, this is a CD case. I have 500 of them, or now 498. And here's another. And these are all just envelopes, junk mail envelopes that I have covered. Here's another CD case. Goes like so, like so, like so, and then like so. And I stitched it in like this so you can see the back page of it. And then I just have one of my paper buttons here that I made a long time ago. So that's stitched onto the back page of this journal. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. So I'm going to start with big paper and then go gradually, slowly, smaller and smaller. Oh, wow. Has a tuck and tag. Every tag has a pocket and a pull. Every clip. Yes. That is so cool. All right. So the first thing you do, now this is a really big piece of paper. And she used, her paper was not this big, and I'm going to end up cutting this down, but this will be the beginnings of this flippy floppy thing, or a fold out. Someone's name for it came up. She was looking for a name for it, and someone suggested in the comments. I thought it was really cute. It was what you call treasure folds. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is fake vintage. You know, that faux vintage. Oh, and I started to say, I'm sure there's some really neat little goodies in here. I'm guessing that this is from Kathy Whitney. Well, I'll find out. It is my birthday Tuesday. To just as soon ignore. It's just another day in paradise. This is really cool washi tape. Yes, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Your moving candy is at a this is chock full. Ooh, oh yes. Let's see. Chocky full. Oh yes. This is beautiful. Look at this. Hello. Yeah, it's from Kathy. Isn't that gorgeous? She does such beautiful work. Thank you, Kathy. It's probably one of her stamps. Eat cake, another year better. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, I can punch those out. Oh, I love her. She's gorgeous. I'll probably use her on some of the, we'll see. How lovely. Thank you very much, Kathy. Oh, no. Really? It's a good move. It's supposed to be in last July's seller. It's the same seller. You've got a lot of patience. Oh, wow. What a cute stamp. It's got a bunny. I'll have to save that stamp for sure. Now, my son is apparently, I signed something. Oh my gosh. I just don't like people that just try to nickel and dime and try to pressure you. And my youngest son apparently is moving to the Denver, Colorado area. Spoke to him. He's in the process of filling out his application for Colorado certification. He's already spoken to 2 principals and has 2 virtual interviews lined up. The glitch is he has to be fingerprinted, and the fingerprinting that they want isn't done in Utah. He's in Utah, which is silly. So he has to drive 4 miles away to over the line into Colorado to get fingerprinted. And he was going to do it this past Tuesday, but there was a snowstorm. And he said he was not up to driving through another snowstorm because he had just driven through a snowstorm for a hockey tournament. And he said he was not up for that. And this guy is a driving fool. I swear to God, he must have been a truck driver in another life. He thinks nothing of getting in a car and taking off. All right. Let's see. I don't suppose you could. Oh, that's tough when you lose a minister that you like. It really is hard. So you're going to go this way. And it's very, very, very important to make sure you get really good, crisp lines. And that's why she suggests folding it this way and then opening it and then folding it this way. And then folding it back down this way. Some people really do it. Oh, wow. Maybe he just slipped. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to cut this down because I want it to fit in my journal. So, and there's no measurements. Everything is measured against whatever the first size is. You just, put another folded piece in and, cut it according to like a border around it. So let's find, I had a page picked out for this. Let's see. Well, that's a nice sturdy page. So why don't we stick this here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. So because this will get glued on this page eventually. So let me just mark this. So I'm going to glue this, cut this here. and then cut this here. And then everything else will be, that's the only thing I have to do. There's really no measuring per se. But I was looking for big paper, and this was the biggest paper I had. Let's just do this. Should have put a new blade in this, but I didn't. And of course, what did I do? I just cut off the stupid. Let's see if I can't hold that up here. All right, it needs to go. All right, this needs to go here. That's close enough. Okay. Well, I hope spring is arriving in the areas where you guys live. I'm sure a lot of you have had a very long winter. But March can be very tricky. We've had some of the worst snowstorms in March. Okay, I'm just going to stick that over here. And the only thing you have to remember is you've got to put it together so this folded ridges at the top, because everything's going to open like this when it's all glued together. So I'm going to lay that down. And the next piece of paper I am going to use, I had this beautiful poster from, I don't remember. It's a gorgeous poster. I cut it in half because it's just hanging around, not doing anything. And I'm going to fold it. Ooh. This way. Don't they call this the hot dog? This is the hot dog fold. I can move that out of the way. This way. Hi, Dana. I'm assuming you're having a gorgeous day, because it's certainly a gorgeous day here. That is for sure. This is the kind of day you wait all year long for. I'm going to open it and then fold it hamburger style. Okay. Yeah. This is probably the heaviest piece of paper that I'm using in this whole thing. All right. So then I'm going to fold it this way. And then I'm going to fold it this way. And then I'm going to give it another heavy duty crease. It's really important to crease this down because you don't want it to be super bulky. All right, this is going to go on. I think I said hi to you, Barbara. So this is, again, I'm just going to eyeball it. And for this one, all I'm going to have to do is take off a little bit of the bottom. Do that. And what I'm going to do, because you'll see the white around the edge here, I'm going to stencil that with a stencil and some ink. So when you see the rim of it, you'll see just some, pretty stenciling. So this will be glued on here. So when you open this up, you'll have this pretty stuff to look at. So that's going to flap in there. All right. The next piece of paper, and then I'm going to do the thing, with the ink around the edges, all of that fancy stuff. Let me get rid of these scissors. I don't need those on the table. Stick this here. Stick that there. All right. Now the next thing, what did I use? I think I used this. This was an uppercase poster that came with, obviously, issue 57 from Uppercase. I renewed my subscription to Uppercase. They have a new encyclopedia coming out. I love their encyclopedias. And the new one, I pre-ordered it, is on glue. And I love, different types of glue. Hi, Kathy. How are you? I hope things are well and you're experiencing some really nice spring weather. I am doing there's no name for it. Natasha did this. She was inspired by something, and so she came up with this. She didn't, and now there's no name for it, but she's looking for a name for it. But it's going to be a series of things that are going to open up. Hi, Safia. Isn't that pretty? All right. So we'll fold this again, hot dog style. And this is actually a pretty cool project to use up a lot of stuff. Because we all have stuff. So I'm going to go that way. I'm going to open it this way. And go this way. And open it and go this way. And then fold it this way. Well, thank you for your beautiful birthday card and all your goodies. I showed them to the ladies just a little bit ago. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now I can leave that like that. And when I open it, when it gets opened, then this will be plain, which I can decorate. Or I can have this white and open up. I mean, I can put it in this little thing this way, But I think I'm going to leave it with the poster out. Hi, April. Welcome. So I think I'm going to leave this beautiful poster out. And if you see this one doesn't really need any alterations. If anything, it's a little bit small, but that's fine. That looks so pretty, doesn't it? Okay. So that's 3 pieces of paper. No, I'm not. You'll have to wait. Oops. And then I have this. Not sure where it came from. I think it came from a Fundable. I bought a Fundable from the Paper Outpost Pam a while ago. And it came with this old thingy, 1916. Hi, Joyce. What are you doing? No. What? She scared herself. Okay, this is kind of cool though. 1916. France. Illustrations. Operations, naval operations. 1916, this must have been World War One. Wow, okay. Well, let's take one of these. Got a whole chunk of these. There's all these. Oh, that is. Oh, that's a Zeppelin going down. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. This is a little fragile. So we'll just do the same thing we did with the other one. Just be careful. All right, so we'll do a hot dog. So you can see how easy this is. And of course, you don't have to start out with as big a piece of paper that I did. You could start out with maybe a 17 by 14 sheet of printing paper. Is Debbie here? Hi, Debbie. I was telling everybody how wonderful your D-Stash sale was yesterday. And Lindy, your ma did such a wonderful job. And I'm very proud of myself. I didn't buy anything. Not that I didn't want to, but you had some gorgeous stuff. Really nice stuff, I have to say. Kathy was there. Kathy Whitney was there. And Steph was there. A lot of people were there. So I think you had a nice turnout. All right, so this is going to go this way. And we'll fold it this way. We'll have to trim some of this off. It was not easy, especially, I'll tell you what really was pulling me. And they weren't expensive. And I almost went back and said, give me one of all of those with those, the dyed workbook pages that you did, and just the colors. And okay, that's great. Hi, Mariah. Well, I know Kathy bought E. The letter was E, and it was that beautiful tealy turquoise color that was just gorgeous. See, now this is bigger, so I'm probably going to stick this here. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to stick that there and cut that down. All right. Okay, so let's cut this down for this. And then we'll cut that down to fit in here. And that should work perfectly. And maybe I'll go in a little bit like so we can get rid of all of this kind of really fragile-y stuff here. Okay, let's do this. And this should work out. Well, I made corned beef and cabbage, and I was telling, I don't know who I was telling somebody it came out awful. It was so friggin' tough. It was like shoe leather. But I am going to, I have a little mandolin, a very little mandolin. And I had a little piece of corned beef left, and I sliced it on the mandolin and got really super thin slices of corned beef. And I had a grocery delivery today, and I got some really nice bakery rye bread, seeded rye bread. And I've got sauerkraut, and I bought Swiss cheese, and I have the butter out. I'm so on top of it. I have the butter out, softening, and I'm going to make myself a big fat Reuben for dinner. Well, yeah, I could chop it up. I've got some more left. I'll do a Reuben because it's really, really thin, so that makes it a little bit not so tough. But then I could chop it up. I could do it, just grind it up in the food processor or my Ninja and make like a ham, like a corned beef salad sandwich, with like a spread. Remember the corned beef that came in the can? Robinson tonight. I'm not sure I know what that means. Stupid phone. Okay. I know what that means. All right. So this will go here. So I have a nice border around that. And let's adjust this. I'll just take a little nick off here. Over here, like so. A wee nick. Reuben. Oh, Robinson tonight. Yeah. Stick that there. And I don't think I have to take anything off there. Let me just cut that off. Yeah, the first time I ever had a Reuben was here in Florida. I was visiting my brother and his wife. And they lived in Pompano Beach. And she said, we're having Reubens. And I went, what's a Reuben? Never had one. And that was my first experience. And then I'll make my own Thousand Island dressing, which is not that hard to make. Mayonnaise, ketchup, and some relish. And I got the Swiss. I've got the rye. Now the only problem with, I had a Instacart delivery, and the guy's Marcus, and Marcus has been my shopper before. And I always mean to write a note saying, try to pick a date on the bread that's not going to expire like the next day. Maybe that was all that was available. So this bread technically expires tomorrow. So I probably should freeze it. So this is really, I'm liking this. This is, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of paper. Okay. Well, you're a good kitty, Mom. That's right. You're a weaver. Yeah. Yeah. The pastrami Reuben, I think, is much. Oh, bread pudding. I love bread pudding. I make a savory bread pudding, not a sweet one. Yes, hasn't she? All right, I'm looking for, I use that. I'm going to use this. Okay. This is some paper from a Rosemary Morris kit. And I need some, I've got some sheet music down here. So we'll use some sheet music. And that one's, no, it's not torn. No, let's put that, we won't use that one. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, this would be cool, huh? This is the newly inspired sculpture, contour molded 3-piece matched luggage ensemble. They nest like lovebirds for compact, easy storage. Oh, wow. I've never seen that before. I thought that was a Samsonite one. Have you ever seen that? 3 pieces that nest. They got a little birdie. Atlas Sewing Centers, Preferred Customer Club. Very cool. And she's ready to travel. People used to dress like that. Oh, look. Oh, she's got TWA airline tickets in her hand. That's hysterical. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen nesting suitcases before. Okay. And that's a Graphics Fairies. And this is a Rosemary Morris Masterboard copy, I think. So let's see what we can do with these. Now, these are going to be, I'm going to use this. I've had it forever. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that's for storage. I've got one of those hard cased ones with the wheels twirl around. And then it's pretty small, but I'm shocked how much stuff I can get in it. I got a whole bunch of stuff in it when I went to Cape Cod for Thanksgiving, because I had all my long sleeve jeans and some pants and sweaters and sweatshirts and my computer. I brought my laptop computer so my son and I could play our video games. Well, hopefully I'll hear from the Boston Ballet tomorrow with their tickets, because they go on Thursday. I'm more excited about seeing him in my bow tie that I made for him for the occasion. Okay. So this will go like so. This paper is pretty heavy too. All right, let's see how much trimming. Well, I really don't have to do any trimming on that. That looks fine. Oh, okay. Dry rot and falling apart. The wheels are coming off it. Yeah. Well, mine is black, and it doesn't really have any distinguishing marks. So it's really hard to spot when it comes around on a carousel. All right. Okay, let's do the same with the, but you have to have music paper, right? Have to have music paper. Well, it looks like the next time I go west, I'll be going to Denver. No more Salt Lake City. Flying into Denver. He's applied to 8 different jobs in the Denver area. The one is Aurora. That's where they had that massacre at the movie theater many years ago. He talked to their principal. Okay, it goes back like so. And of course, the principal wanted to know why he was moving. And he was very honest, told her why. And she said, yeah, we're getting a lot of people pretty much saying the same thing. I thought that was interesting. All right. So I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit. Whoops. I'll just take a little nick here and there, a nip and tuck. Yes, I was thinking of doing that. I do have a tag that on the luggage that kind of sticks out a little bit. But that would be fun to do that. Okay. Let's cut this down. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. He was really enjoyed talking to the principal. They talked for about 20 minutes, but they're going to have like a virtual interview later this week. I think that he shouldn't have too much of a hard time. First of all, he's a male, and there's not that many men in education, not in special ed, not in the elementary age group. So that's what he is. He's a special ed teacher, and he's been teaching special ed for 18 years. And he has a master's degree in special ed. So I think he should probably get a job. Of course, it's concern for pay scale and whether he'll get paid for his years put in. They won't accept his 18 years. Apparently, the best they'll do is give him credit for 10 years. And he knows he's going to have to take a pay cut, except if he gets a job in Denver. I would think Denver would be. I'm hoping. I wouldn't think so. Yeah. All right. I like that. This is looking. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's really not that bulky. If you look at it, it's really not that bulky. And his principal wrote him a really lovely letter of recommendation, which always helps. The boys are upset. They're a little upset. And they're at that phase now of we're never going to do this again. We never can do that again. And Reed's saying, I'm never going to skate on the old dog ice skating thing. And I said, yeah, that's going to happen. But then they'll get to a point where they'll look forward to new adventures. I mean, Reed has played hockey against hockey teams from Colorado, and they've always been whooped by them. So he'll have his hockey. Oh, well, maybe that will be the case. He's not 100% sure. That would be awesome. Because he has a house to sell. But from when he bought it to what I think they will. I know they will. It's going to be upside down, which is fine. That'll be right side up. Yeah, they'll be skiing. Well, they're skiing in Salt Lake City, obviously. But, oh, yeah. Kids are resilient. When I think of all, the poor military kids. I had a couple of military. Hi, Lygia. I had some military kids. when I was teaching in New York, and those kids, they moved around so often. It's a hard. I guess I was lucky. My father had intended on making the Navy his career, but he contracted a fungus in one of his lungs that was indigenous to the Coronado Valley in California outside of San Diego. And they really didn't know what to do or how to treat it, so they removed his lung. And that was the end of his naval aviator career. And if, even being a commercial pilot, that ended that too. So I didn't have to experience all that moving around, but they had moved. I was born in Newport, Rhode Island. Then we went to Memphis, Tennessee. Then we went to Coronado. And then we went to St. Albans, and he was cached out in St. Albans. So that's Newport, Memphis, California, New York, Newport, Memphis, California. That's 4 times, all before I was 18 months old. I am really liking this a lot. This is so cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, Lily. Oh, Lily. Let's see. I think I'm gonna let's just take a look at this. I like this. I like this. This will be pretty. I'm liking this a whole lot better than the first one I made. Even though I'm kind of using the same papers, at least I thought I was. This is really cool. All right, let's fold this. Hot dog. Hamburger. I highly recommend you folks trying this out. This would really be cool with jelly dye papers, magazine papers. That's pretty. The Sandhill Cranes are having a little territorial. My girlfriend battle. Okay. I know. Moving is no fun. For sure. Well, I'm going to have to move all of this. You can't see it, but all of this massive piece of stuff into my art studio. I haven't heard from that guy at all. Not a word. So, which means he hasn't asked for any money. So eventually, all of a sudden, it's gonna start, and it's gonna be big. Renault. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, Scott wants to move, right? You're going to move one more time. Are you going to stay in the Carolinas, or are you going to go some other state altogether? 14 times. Okay. Wow. I love it, Kathy. I mean, Candy. I love it. It holds so much stuff. I mean, it has to be completely emptied. You have no idea. It has to be completely emptied. And then once I empty it, it'll be rolled out. And it'll take up the whole far wall of the art studio. I'll have one wall, one solid wall out there. And then one wall will just be a bank of windows so I can still look out on my pond. And then there's going to be a doorway from my bedroom out to the studio. And a door to the outside. Yeah, I mean, you're going to need you'd need 9 feet. I think this thing is fully opened. It's 9 feet. So a solid wall. They're just very expensive, and I hired somebody to put it together, but that was my retirement gift to me. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop with that. Let's put it together. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of paper. So I think the first thing I'm going to do before I do, I'm staying until I make the picture. That's right. And you feel sorry for them. Well, my mother used to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "Mom, it's not your problem. It will not be your problem. I guarantee you, it will not be your problem. We got it. It's not your problem. It will not be your problem." Well, that's true. All right, I'm going to get a stencil. I'm going to stencil this. And reach under here. And get some stencils. In my rolling cart. And get one of those little get one of these little doohickeys. Ow. Okay, let's pick out a nice little stencil. Okay. Well, that's what my dad calls this place. Calls it God's waiting room. Which it is. These are all military people that have moved here. Okay, let's find something nice that will go there. That'll be pretty. Actually, I really want something for around the corner, around the rim. So maybe not a stencil. Maybe washi tape. You moved to this house from an apartment. Oh, wow. And you were working full time and you still managed to amass. That's crazy. Well, I've been here since 2016. So that's 9 years. And this house is bursting at the seams and it's mostly craft stuff. And it's in every room. Every room. Every friggin' room. And it's not really going to fit in that art studio, even though I'm having bookcases put down below the windows. So I'll be able to put art books down there. Oh, speaking of art books, Debbie had some of the best art books. And what a deal. What a deal. And what a deal on the, I have a soldering iron, but $2 for a soldering iron, that was the deal. And the ring light, what a deal. You had some really good stuff. I wonder, is that going to work? See, I have something like this, but you're not going to see it. This is a stencil that I cut. And it was a pain in the ass. I'm going to tell you right now. Maybe teardrops, just like that. Maybe I'll do teardrops. Bye, Kathy. Take care. Yeah, let's do this some teardrops. These are Sean Petite stencils, and they were 4 of them, like so. And there's another one, and then I cut them in quarters. And there's another one here somewhere. I make a lot of my own stencils, and sometimes they're one-offs, you know. I need a stencil, I need a tree or whatever, and then I make one. Okay. I think I'll do that one. And we'll get some of my new ink. Oh, I should use the, you know, no, you don't. I know. I should use the VersaFine because this is juicy. Oh, wow. You have a big cutting table. Jeez. Well, when my brother-in-law passed away, he had a huge safe that housed his gun collection. And it had to be someone local, and it was down in the basement, and it was quite some job to get it out of there. Okay, we stick this here. All right, I think this will work. I don't know which way it goes. I don't think it matters. This stuff, ooh, VersaFine, look, it is so juicy. I mean, you just look at it. I barely touched it. Now I got ink. No paper. Oh, paper cutter about a yard long. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know how people, how they, move pianos and stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Look at that. The only thing about these things is these little handles snap off. Yeah, special. Yeah, he only collected one kind of rifle, as I recall. It was a World War One bolt action Enfield, I think was the type of gun it was. And he not only collected the guns, but he collected all of the ephemera that went with the gun, like calendars that were featured the gun, empty shell cases. He had quite the collection of stuff. And then I gave him, I was in possession of my father's service revolver. It was 45. So I gave that to him because I figured anybody in the family, he would appreciate having that. Because on my dad's 45, the sight at the end of the barrel was bent. And the reason why it was bent was because he would use it to open bottles of beer. Dad, he was such a character. Why can't I line that up? Well, I started up here. So start up here. Did I flip that around? I must have. I don't know how I did that. Must have done it in my sleep. I don't know how I screwed that up. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's going to just be around the rim. Don't worry about it. Okay, Kathy. Welcome back. This is a pretty blue. All right. I can't really get in here real well. I always forget to use my stencils. And they really, they make such a wonderful layer if you're layering stuff just to add a layer of stenciling. It's such a difference. I can't get hold of this thing. I'm having a hell of a time. I just need this corner. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right. Oh, I was afraid I did it the wrong. Okay. All right, so this is gonna, okay. So that goes there, and then this will go here. That's nice. You just get a little bit of color around the edges. A little something, something. Need something there. I wonder if I can possibly. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. All right. Let's put her together and see what we got. So she used a combination of glue stick that she buys at Kmart. I guess Kmart is alive and well in Australia because that's where she is located, is in Australia. She is just so creative. And when she has a video, when she's going to show you how to make something, she always makes about 10 of them. And then she does the ASMR with rubbing and making all the noises that they make. It's really funny. And then she used clear glue. Well, there's no name for it, Kathy, and it'll be best I can tell you what it is when it's done. It's all of these pieces of paper are gonna open up. And I'm gonna glue it into a page in my journal. And I saw Treasure Books, Natasha from Treasure Books, make one this morning. And it's something that she doesn't think anybody else has ever made, even though she knows that there's no such thing as something that's never been made. When she even said to the YouTube audience, I don't think anybody has ever done this. And if you know that somebody has done it, she said, don't tell me, because I don't want to know. I want to enjoy this euphoria. No, I don't know whether that makes any difference. I'm sitting here holding this what thing. Okay, stick it like so. All right, here we go. So it's going to accommodate 8 pieces of paper. And they're all going to open one at a time. So see, like this is going to open like so. And it's going to fold like so. And they're all ready. Oh, damn. Stop. In the name of love, I've got to do the thingy. I forgot to do the thingy. Damn it. Dang it. Okay. I think it makes a difference. Why didn't someone tell me? She is quite the character. You should have seen if you go back and find this. And I think the name of the video is Something New. I think that's what she named it, was Something New. She didn't know what to name it. But somebody in comments came up with a beautiful name for it, calling it Treasure Folds. It's a series of folds. Okay. I forgot to do this. You got to do this. I don't like that brown though. Let me get a better brown. It's not brown enough. It should be a whole lot juicier than it is also. I'm just saying. Let me just get it. It's over here. Over there. I want to walnut stain. That's the one we want. All right, let's do this. Take this off. Have the little thingy on the bottom of this, the old Velcro thing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Okay, let's see whether this can get anything out of this. No, this is not. Well, this is probably dead. It's so old. Put some water on it. Okay, don't want that. Let's try this. How about this, sports fans? Okay. Yeah, that's much better. All right. This is when she, all my journals and envelope folios, yes, they were based on, yeah. She makes, yeah. Well, this has such a potential of decorating. I guess your biggest fear is you don't want it to get too fat. I don't think I can get in there. Yeah, I don't think I can get in there. Maybe a little bit here. Oh, well. I can do this. This does make such a difference, in my opinion. And it is a pain in the arse to do, but it just makes everything stand out just a wee bit more than it would normally. All right. Okay. Yeah, some people are just speedo with the links. I'm not. Dar, who is Kathy Berg's #1 moderator. She pops in links. I mean, by the time I get to the YouTube channel, by the time I find the channel and hit the share button, she already has the link in chat. It's just like Aunt Bex is another Speedy Gonzalez linker. See that? You really need that little bit of oomph. Okay. I really like this particular uppercase poster. It's there like so. Right. Some people you can like spritz your ink pad with just a little bit of water to revive it, especially if you're just going to be doing, inking around the corners of stuff. Yeah, that's pretty subtle, but it's there. Yeah. Yeah, you could go like so, right? If you had a real juicy ink pad, you could just run the thing right over the. Well, I have inkers for 3 inkers for this brown. The brown, this archival brown, is potting soil. I have an re-inker for the potting soil and the black, jet black archival. And I have a re-inker for a embossing ink. You see, that really makes a difference, especially on something brown. Okay. And we got our deluxe suitcase, nesting suitcase set in gorgeous baby blue. Oh, this is Wedgwood blue. You have charcoal gray, Tahitian tan, or Wedgwood blue. My guess is this is Wedgwood blue. And then the last one. If I really wanted to get fancy, it would be really to take them over to the sewing machine and just run a stitch around the edges. She does a lot of that neat stitching in her stuff, which I love the way that looks too. Yeah, the little ink pads. Okay. All right, now back to gluing. Turn it over. Some glue stick. My Doris. And glitter glue that has no glitter in it. How many people stayed away from glitter glue for years because you thought it had glitter in it? I know I did. I'm assuming at some point in time it must have had glitter in it. Okay. Okay. Next. Oh, my back is killing me. Oh, the lidocaine patches wearing off. Hi, Zen Jen. Well, thanks for popping in. I appreciate that. I'm almost done. And then we can have the reveal. The only thing I don't have is the ornament or embellishment to put on the very cover of it. She had such beautiful stuff. She had a little bowl, she whipped out the little bowl. Oh, let's see what I have here that I can put on it. Oh, she was funny. She was so stoked about this project. At one point, she was talking in a Southern accent, and she's going, oh, I don't know where that came from. It was so funny. It is funny to hear an Aussie talk in a Southern accent. And then she was utterly surprised that she was talking in. The sandhill cranes are howling. They make a racket. Oh my God. And when they're fighting, obviously they're fighting for a mate or territory. And these are big birds. And they're jumping up and down and flapping their wings. And then they'll put their heads down and they'll charge one another. It is quite the show. And noisy. Okay. Hope I said hi to everyone. I'm pretty sure I did. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this afternoon. Got to make some Thousand Island dressing for my Reuben Bakery Deli Caesar rye bread. I'm so glad I remembered to take the butter out. Easy to smear the butter on the bread. And put it in the frying pan and get all that Swiss cheese all melted. And I got a little thing of sauerkraut. Zip, zip. Zip, zip, zippity, doo, 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 doo. Oh, wow. I bought a ratty rag beds prior to the sale today. Okay. All right. Stick the pin in that. Stick this away over here. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, I am. You're just going to have to wait. Yes, you are. I know. It's not one of your fortes. Okay. Yeah. Shush. No. I'm glad I have my garbage taken out. All right. Now. So let's open it up and see the flippy flappy action. Okay, folks. So this is okay. See you, Becky. See you tomorrow. Becky's on at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Be there with one or two eyes. All right. So this whole thing is going to get glued down on a page in my. So it opens like so. And then we can decorate here. And then you can actually go like so. And you can leave that open if you like so. Like so. And then you can open this like so. Just like that. And then like that. Can you hear her? You can decorate this. And this goes like so. We got this beautiful poster. And then we can do stuff in here. And then we got this, which is upside down, unfortunately, but it wouldn't be mine. It wouldn't be mine if something wasn't upside down. Let's face it, folks. I am the queen of upside downness. So, and then the back page, like so. So now I can fold it like this, 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 like, oops, like that. Voila! So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed that. You can go on over and watch it and see Natasha. Yeah, I mean, this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of paper. And she's made them with as little as 4 or 5. Doesn't matter. You can start small, and you can see it's really not that thick. That's it. And, I'm going to decorate some of those. But look at that. Look how cool that looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Well, thank you, folks, for being here. And everyone have a good start of the week. And remember, Becky's on at 6:30 a.m. Take care. If you can't be good, be careful. And be fabulous. Bye.